Hi, ladies. I feel that there needs to be a little intervention in your HTML because a bunch of you kind of tripped up um, when it came to the style part of this. Now, some of you probably worked really a long time and figured it out, but some of you didn't. So I just wanted to kind of explain again, maybe in a different way, about the style element. So up until this point, at the very beginning, you were putting the style in directly where you put in the text that goes into the web page. But on this page, they introduced the idea of the actual style element, which is part of the cascading style sheets, and eventually it's going to actually be a separate sheet. But for now, what they're talking about here is an opening and closing style tag. All right. Now, in a document, you're only going to have one opening and closing style tag. Um, and the things that go in here would be, in this case, it just shows you the style tag for the header, but actually you'd be able to put the style for any element in your web page within these two tags, and I'm going to show you that again in this one, which is one that everybody kind of had a problem with. So let me just kind of look at this. So in this particular web page, there is no style at all. All they have here, it's just this is the text that shows up in your header, this is the text that shows up in your paragraph, this is your text that shows up in a different paragraph, and this is text that shows up in an element called span, and you'll learn more about those later. All that this exercise needed you to do was to add that one style element that was going to have the style for each of those separate things. So it would just get spaced right in here, and you would just have an opening style tag. Whoops, and it's not going to look like that. Hang on. And then a closing one down here. Okay, then within this style, within this one style element, you're going to have styling for the heading, and that's going to have curly braces as soon as I figure out where they are on this particular computer. Yeah, okay, curly braces here, and then another curly brace here. Then you're going to have one for the paragraph, curly brace and curly brace, and another one for that span element. Okay, and then in this space between these two curly braces, you're going to put all of the styles for the heading, here all the styles for the paragraph, and here all the styles for span. So this is the way I usually go about setting these things up when it's like this. Then you just go through, and each one that it tells you, okay, paragraph text should be 680, so then you go to P and you put in that. All right, and you guys should know how to do that. You can always track back and find out exactly what the syntax is. Now, once again, copy and paste. Don't try and retype it, because then you can miss things, because you have to remember whether or not, so like if this says paragraph text, you need to remember whether there's a colon after, or a semicolon, or all those things. So go back and copy and paste into here, so you'd set all your styles up, and that's all you needed to do for this one that says monospacious. Okay, is actually follow the directions here and fill in this style element. Now, one other really important thing that I think trips some people up on the next exercise, the one with the pictures, is that this particular style element, anything that's in here has to apply to every single thing. So for instance, once you put in a style here, anytime you use heading 1, it's going to conform to that style. All right, same thing here. If you had two paragraphs and you wanted them to look different, you wouldn't put this in between this style. You would take that style and you would put it, so you've got two paragraphs here. Let's say for some reason you want this paragraph to look different than this paragraph. You would have to put your style in this space or in this space. Now, when you got to the one with the pictures, which was, I think, this one, no, not that one, not monospacious. All right, wait. There was one with pictures further on. Oh, the holiday blog one. All right, so in this case, you've got all this text here. Let me close this up. And it gives you all this stuff. Now, this one adds images in here. Now, with images, you can't you can't put the images in this style element because each one of the images has a totally different style. Now with images you don't really have style because you don't have font, you don't have that kind of stuff, and a lot of times they're within a paragraph, which means that they would adhere to things like margins and stuff, but like the size of the picture can't go in this style element. The size of the picture has to go with the image itself and as part of the style for that. So I hope that makes sense, that the style element is there just to make your life easier so you don't have to re-enter. Think about it like we in freshman year we talked about functions. Remember how functions were things you used over and over again? You didn't, so you had, it saved you time in typing things out. Hopefully this makes more sense. That way you don't have to take the same, well of course there's only one heading here so it wouldn't really save you more time, but even if you thought about the paragraphs, instead of putting the same style in this paragraph as this paragraph, you're only putting it in here once. I sure hope that clears things up. Please come and see me or let me know if something doesn't make sense, but this is really something important because you're going to be using this all the way through. Thanks.